Feels like I need you. Know that I'll deceive you. It's just a matter of time. Masochist, I tend to pretend to befriend you when no one else is watching.
Hello, everybody. I am Hoarder Gamer, and this is Hoarder's Comic Flex. I appreciate anyone watching this episode. Took a bit of a hiatus, partially unplanned. Um, I don't know, just kind of all over the place recently. But I come here with a new episode and some information. Welcome to the Golden Age. Hoarder's Comic Flex, the Golden Age, begins now. 2025, Hoarder's Comic Flex is not just going to be here on YouTube. It's going to be in a number of places, and there's going to be long form and short form releases. So it won't just be like the big long episode right now. There might also be like little reviews and things. I've kind of talked about this in the past, and it's actually finally happening now. So hopefully you'll like where everything's going. There's definitely going to be more HCF, and I like to avoid using the term content. So with comic books, it's issues. But when I say I have issues, some people might think, oh, there's something wrong with him, because it's me saying it. Anyone else could say that, have a show called Hoarder's Comic Flex, and people be like, oh, he's talking about comics. Beyond that, though, I'm using the term releases. I like the term releases, because it could be all sorts of different things. And maybe, I'll even talk about like an album I really enjoy or something like that. It won't just be comics. Not that this was, but it very much was geared that way. And there's some other things I'd like to cover that just aren't quite right for the Super Hour podcast. It just kind of wouldn't work with that either. So yeah, this is the beginning. This is the I'm not going to say 2.0, but this is the golden age. The golden age begins again, make it dramatic, now. So, we're going to start with a more streamlined episode here and see, if people enjoy that. Don't have a lot for gaming news this week. The big part of it was I enjoyed a couple events for Diablo, holiday events. Those were a lot of fun. Diablo 2 Resurrected had 22 Nights of Terror. And it wasn't actually scary. It was 22 buffs or changes to the game to make it interesting and exciting and get people to come back and play it for a month. And it was a lot of fun. I'd say of those 22 days, I played about a week and a half of it. And I had a really good time with that. Diablo 4 basically brought a lot of goblins to its world. Sanctuary was kind of overrun with goblins. You'd find them in Hell Tides. You'd find them in Nightmare Dungeons, especially if you found the Greed Shrine and activated it. And these goblins were dropping some pretty cool loot. So that was a lot of fun. And it just became manic. Because you'd be fighting a whole mess of enemies in Helltide, and there'd be 2 or 3 goblins. And what happens, just like in Marvel's Avengers, if you played that, when the loot bot showed up, basically when the loot goblins show up in Diablo, that's the meta. Nothing else matters. The boss you're fighting, nope. No. The mini boss that's in the Helltide, I think it's named Zarthus or something like that. Nope. No. You are out hunting goblins and getting that sweet goblin loot. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was cool. Plus, they also buffed the amount of experience and the amount of gold you were getting as part of the mother's gift. Lilith being the mother. So, what's a goblin's favorite sandwich? Oh, God. I'm afraid to ask this question. Okay, what is a goblin's favorite sandwich, Mike? what I would say, a gobble gobble turkey sandwich. What I was going to say is he has no idea. He's too busy gobbling it up because he eats it too quickly. So he isn't really sure of how it tasted because he was so hungry. What I was... Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much the gaming news. That and Path of Exile 2 had an update right before Christmas break for the devs at Grinding Gear Games, and made some cool changes, implemented those, and I've been having fun. I finally got past the first boss of the second act, and yeah, I've been enjoying myself. They didn't really have a holiday event because it's a little bit too early. You know, they're kind of focusing on everything else, you know, and making changes in the early access version of the game. So I'll probably do like a little mini separate episode talking about like what my games of the year were, and maybe even like one for music and one for film rather soon, probably in like the next week. Now, if you're wondering where the other content is going to be, TikTok, Instagram. I don't know quite how the video streaming is on Blue Sky, but I very much like Blue Sky, and I'm interested to see, maybe not so much the streaming, but how it is to actually, you know, upload a video to Blue Sky. That I've not done yet. So all different places where you can actually see, you know, my issues. Okay, everybody. So the gaming news is over. The intro part of this episode is over. And now it is time for us to toy around. And it's been a little bit since we toyed around. And we're going to start with one of my favorite companies and one of my favorite characters, Lego and Batman. So, January 1st, a number of very cool Lego sets became available for sale at the legostore.com, amazon.com, and a number of other dealers or like vendors, basically. I don't think Target yet, oddly enough. But here is a very cool mini Batmobile. It's a mini Batmobile with Batman and Mr. Freeze. And Mr. Freeze has like an ice weapon launcher, something that he's using like to attack the Batmobile. Plus he comes with like an ice gun. And it's going to be around $19.99. This is a smaller set. You're really spending that $5 to $6 for each of the figures. That's the big reason the fans and like the collectors will want this set. More so than anything is the minifigures. So, Mr. Freeze, Batman, and a mini Batmobile. Now, if that mini Batmobile doesn't quite, you know, satisfy you, perhaps something a bit larger. Perhaps the Tumbler, a Dark Knight, a new Dark Knight Batman Lego set. This one featuring Heath Ledger's Joker. Now, I believe they did one that had Heath Ledger's Joker, but I'm pretty certain it did not have Aaron Eckhart's Two-Face. So it comes with Two-Face, and I believe that is a different mold or take on the Joker, more like Heath Ledger. It also comes with the Bat Signal, and of course Batman. Now this set's a little bit more expensive, but it's also quite a bit more parts. This one is actually $59.99, so right around $60. And again, it's definitely available at legostore.com and amazon.com. This is also just released today. This is a January 1st release date for these sets. And now, here's something you Superman fans will enjoy. It has been many years since there's been Superman Lego, and here you go, everybody. Now, I'm starting with the minifigures because that's what everyone's so excited about. You get a Superman, and you get a Lex Luthor, and he's got those cool like kryptonite shoulder pad type things. I think it looks really neat. Okay. And while this is cool and I love the coloring on it, people are not as excited about the set itself. Here's the thing though. Again, I think that most people will be buying this for those minifigures. Those minifigures, if you buy them in the blind bags that come out, you know, those are between $5 and $6 a piece. That's the retail for those. So if you're looking at this set and you're saying $6 a minifigure, right? So 12 bucks total. This entire set is only $3 more than that. So you got this insane Superman mech, a Superman minifigure, a Lex Luthor minifigure for $14.99 retail. So I think that's really good. Also, if you're wondering why Superman needs a mech, look what Lex Luthor, that crumb bum, look what he has in his hand. Kryptonite. And as you know, kryptonite is Superman's kryptonite. So, yes, he needs that suit here. He needs that suit. So, again, I think even if you just want those minifigures, the fact that you're spending only $3 to $4 more for the set on top of, you know, the two minifigures, I think is really cool. And like I said, it's been at least, 5 years, I think, 4 to 5 years since there's been a Superman Lego set. Someone said 7, but I think there was one a little bit sooner than that. But yeah, 4 to 5 years for sure. And yeah, the thing is that almost all the Lego sets that come out are Batman. I love Batman. I'm a huge Batman fan. I even like Batman more than Superman. However, I don't believe that all video games, all Lego, all toys need to be Batman focused. There's a wide variety of awesome DC characters, heroes and villains. And yeah, Superman is great. And I hope that, you know, the new James Gunn movie, which has an incredible trailer, Take Me Home. Imagine, you know, I'm bleeding from the mouth and I'm lying in the snow and I'm like, you know, I'm like half awake, like almost like near death. Take me home. And then Crypto comes. You know. In case you haven't seen the trailer, I just recreated a great moment from it. So definitely check it out because I can't quite approximate David Corenswet. So definitely check that out. I think it's going to be awesome. The trailer is incredible. Okay, and now I think we have one more toy. Give me 1 second here. That might have been everything. No, we do have one. Awesome. A Build-A-Figure, a bath, if you will, of Nemesis from Marvel. I think it looks incredible. But again, it's a Build-A-Figure. You have to buy an entire set. That set will include Marrow, and apparently the pre-orders start next week. So, yeah, I think this is an excellent looking Build-A-Figure. A lot of people are looking to get the entire set, because they really want Nemesis here. So I figured I would definitely show a picture of Nemesis right there. Right now, everybody, we are going to look at the near future of comic books. The near future of comic books all the way to 1 week from today. Okay, and first up we have, let's see, should we go with something real big? Let's go with something crazy hella big. Let's see here. 1 second here. I think I have 2 pictures of a character. Let me take a look. Okay, so I think that might actually be the Absolute Batman #3 cover. But Absolute Batman #4, that's actually what comes out next week. And that has been a hell of a fun ride. The second issue introduced us. Well, the first issue, let's start there real quick. First issue introduced us to a different version of Alfred Pennyworth. One that is actually kind of like stalking, if not like documenting the Batman. And this is a different take on Batman. Doesn't have the mansion, doesn't have the money. And this is where things get really interesting. His friends from when he was a kid seem to be the members of the Rogues Gallery that we're used to from Batman. And it seems that, like, Oswald Cobblepot, he plays cards with Bruce. They're having a poker night. Serena is not able to make it, though. Catwoman. But it does sound like Oswald is a bouncer enforcer for a mobbed up bar, possibly. And you're already seeing, like, Edward Nygma doing some squirrely Riddler things. It's very good. It's been a very cool ride. Speaking of a very cool ride, one more thing, just like Columbo, right? One more thing. The Batmobile. It is a gigantic, earth-moving vehicle. Like this insane, crazy thing. And there's a point where Alfred is on the Batmobile and doesn't even know it. And Bruce starts driving it. And it's insane. He just smashes through the bad guys, which I believe they're called, oh man. I'm trying to remember the name. Well, Black Mask has put together a new gang. And he's using possibly mind control because the helmet that one of them is wearing is examined. And yeah. So that takes us to issue 3, where Bruce basically makes a deal with the devil in order to save Gotham. And this could only go terribly, terribly wrong, and makes it very exciting. And you should definitely check out issue 4 to see where this all heads. All New Venom, number 2. There's only been one issue, so there's not much of a recap here. You have Rick Jones, Luke Cage, Robbie Robertson, and Madame Mask. One of those 4 people is the new Venom. And here in issue 2, Eddie Brock, actually I believe it's Dylan, I think his son is. Dylan is trying to find out who the new Venom is. Eddie's got his own stuff going on. Recently he had a talk with Carnage in a church. So that's probably going to be very interesting too, where it's going to be heading. Anyway, All New Venom number 1 was fantastic. I expect issue 2 to be really good too. I'm hoping it's going to be Robbie Robertson, because that'd be really cool. J. Jonah Jameson's longtime friend, Peter's like mentor and friend, and boss technically. Yeah, I mean that would be really cool. You know, Luke Cage has had powers, right? I think currently still does. That kind of stuff fluctuates in comics. Rick Jones, you know, has had powers. So wouldn't it be cool if Robbie Robertson did too now? And if anyone can take the reins of something like Venom, right? And he can actually control that, you know, I think it would be Robbie. And I think he'd do a great job at it. So, All New Venom number 2. Man, oh man, Amanda Waller. She has totally screwed up the DC universe. The Absolute Power story arc, taking all the powers away from all the heroes. Now, after all that, the aftermath, some of the heroes got their powers back, some didn't, and some powers have gone a bit wonky. Such as Aquaman, who has a number of incredible new powers, and Jeremy Adams, the writer of Green Lantern is starting a new Aquaman series, Aquaman #1 next week. And we have giant water created kaijus that Aquaman has to fight. And he has to get a handle on his new powers in order to do so. So this should be very cool. I'm very interested to see how they handle like the popular characters like Black Manta and everything. Jeremy Adams did a really good job with Green Lantern. So I'm interested to see his Aquaman. And this is a variant cover. I thought this looked really good. So that's why I'm showing this. Aquaman #1. Amazing Spider-Man #65. Number 64, Peter is tired of dying. In case you didn't know, Peter has a new lease on lives. He can die 8 times, and he might have to, facing the Scions of Cyttorak. He's fought, I believe, 3 or 4 of them, and now he's fighting the inevitability of death. And as you can see on this cover, Peter has to witness the death of those close to and the people he loves, his friends, family. It's going to be a harrowing journey for Peter Parker, and it should be really good. I have loved this story arc by Joe Kelly. The 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, I think, has been phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to this issue too. It's been a while since I've been looking forward to Amazing Spider-Man every 2 weeks when it comes out. Now again, Zeb Wells gets a lot of hate, and I don't think that's fair, but the book didn't grab me. His run didn't make me so enthusiastic that I needed to, look forward to every 2 weeks when another issue would come out. And I think, at Zeb Wells' run, it might have been almost weekly at one point because they were trying to get to a certain quota or something. I forget exactly. But I love this story. I think this is a very interesting take on Peter. And yeah, basically he's hired by Dr. Doom and has to fight an intergalactic demonic menace. And it's kids, basically. It's the easiest way to explain it. Amazing Spider-Man #65. And finally, everybody, we have Lucky Devils. Okay? 2 devils are trying to cause anarchy and just like a revolution in hell, and they're going to use 2 human beings to help them. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the writing of Charles Soule. Don't get me wrong, he's a good writer. It's just the number of things like Darth Vader, things like that I've read by him, I just didn't love. 8 billion genies, that's incredible. He wrote that, and that is the idea of everyone getting a wish. And everyone having their own genie. And it goes as terribly insane as you might expect. I believe it's an 8-issue miniseries that's available now in trade and hardcover. But yeah, based on that, I'm very interested in Lucky Devils, and I do like the artwork as well. Lucky Devils #1. I might review this next week, actually. I might review this. I'm not exactly sure, but I am looking forward to it. And with that, everybody, we are done with looking at the near future of comic books all the way to 1 week from today. Now, I might actually have the correct picture of the Batman cover. Give me 1 second and we'll see. There we go. There we go. That is absolutely Batman, or Absolute Batman #4. And I thought that was a cool variant cover. I wanted to show that to everybody. So just wanted to make sure that I wasn't losing my mind, and I did actually have the picture file there. So okay. Now, with that, Super Hour Podcast, oh my God! You're just in time for the comic book review. Super Hour Podcast, you may have missed, I talked about the golden age of Hoarder's Comic Flex, and gonna be in numerous places now, including TikTok and Instagram, maybe even Blue Sky. It all just depends. I don't know how you upload videos on Blue Sky. I haven't done it yet, so We'll see about Blue Sky, but yes, 2025 is the golden age of Hoarder's Comic Flex. Okay, and we are going to end this first golden age episode with Batman 165. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's 165. Okay, regardless, incredible issue. Okay, it basically starts on all cylinders and keeps moving through a brick wall. It is intense. It is intense. It is a wild ride. I highly recommend it. So, in case you didn't know, you need to catch up. Edward Nygma is a multimillionaire, and he's about to wrest control of Wayne Industries from Bruce Wayne. And he has a benefactor, Leonid Cole. And you get some really cool reveals in this issue about Leonid and who he's working with. Anyway, they've all been working together to frame Commissioner Gordon, who had an affair with Mayor Christopher Nakano's wife. And it got to the point where Commissioner Gordon shot Mayor Nakano, killing him. Now the police are embroiled in a fight with Batman. Batman's trying to protect Commissioner Gordon because Batman has figured it out. Commissioner Gordon's glasses were broken. When they were repaired, basically Edward Nygma got technology into the glasses in order to control him. And a big reveal happens. The company is Nygma Tech, as in Edward Nygma. However, we get another shot of the outside sign and everything, and there's a bit of construction that creates a T in the word tech, creating the name Nygma Tech, as in Jervis Tech, the Mad Hatter. And Batman realizes that Edward Nygma has used the technology of the Mad Hatter in order to control Commissioner Gordon, and also wait for it, to control members of the Court of, or Talons anyway, not members, of the Court of Owls. That's right, the Court of Owls are part of this story, and the supposed long-lost brother of Bruce Wayne. This story arc is absolutely insane. Well, what you find out is the benefactors for the Court of Owls, the people that kind of are controlling things right now, Russia. And Captain Star, this interesting superhero that showed up in issue 1 and is like basically, you know, helping people and doing all this stuff that Batman usually did, he's revealed as none other than KG Beast. And now, because of Edward Nygma, Russia has access to the nuclear codes for the United States and everything that Nygma Tech was working on. Complete insane craziness. I know it's a lot to take in, but wow, what a hell of an issue. A hell of an issue. And KG Beast is one of the most difficult fights that Bruce Wayne has had. Tom King, during his run, brought KG Beast to Gotham, and it was brutal. So, yeah, they have the reveal then of KG Beast basically leading all these people and like basically starting a riot. And then they like show, you know, behind him what he actually looks like. Like it's this cool comic book thing where it's like, and that's what he really is. As Batman comes to this realization, you know, as you're finishing the issue. So this has been a very good story arc. I've been enjoying this a lot. And bringing back the Court of Owls is no mean feat. That's very exciting. So, Yes, Batman. Yeah, definitely get the new issue. This entire arc, I think this is only the 4th issue, so it's not too bad. I mean, I got to be honest with you. In 2 issues, once I get to issue 6, they'll probably do a trade. So if you can wait, I guess. But I've been loving it. It's been really good. KG Beaster, as in KG, the letters KG, like the KGB. It's a play on words from KGB to KG Beast. So, the idea basically that he's like almost a Cold War remnant type of thing, but he's a lunatic, and he's an idealist, or he's like a zealot, and he's super dangerous. That's why he's KG Beast. Okay, everybody, I want to thank you all very much for watching this episode of Hoarder's Comic Flex, the first episode of the golden age of Hoarder's Comic Flex. Let's see, I've given a lot of information. We're not even going to get into my streams or anything like that right now. I think that'd be overload. That'd be overload for everything I've talked about in this episode after being gone for a short hiatus. Thank you very much. And yeah, if you like the episode, feel free to sub. Tell someone else about it if they like comics and these types of things I talk about. Yeah, thank you very much and have a good one. Have a happy new year as well. The golden age of Hoarder's Comic Flex. Thank you. Bye-bye.